Hey, what is going on guys? Aaron here, and this is the Note 10 Plus in 2021. Now, back in 2019, I decided to upgrade my Pixel 2 to this guy right here. I mean, the Pixel 2 was a good phone and it served me well, but I just couldn't get over how nice the Note 10 Plus looked. I mean, with the huge display and the clean minimal design, it wasn't hard for me to make the switch. Now, when the Note 10 Plus first came out, it was pretty much the king of all smartphones. I mean, for $1,100, you'd expect nothing less. Now, here we are in 2021, and I kind of wanted to give you guys my thoughts on how the phone has been and whether you guys should get one or not. Now, first, I'd like to talk about the price, because $1,100 is not cheap. But that was back in 2019. And after doing some research, I was surprised to find this phone going anywhere from $400 to $500, which is an absolute steal. Now, I've always been a fan of the Note line, especially because the way it looks. The sleek design, thin bezels, and that minimal look, Samsung's always been on top of the game when it comes to design. Now, I will say that I do prefer the flatter edges over the curved ones, but that's just a matter of taste. Overall, I think it's a pretty good looking phone. And in addition to that, its performance is no slouch either. The phone still feels buttery smooth, and I've never had a single issue with lag or stutters, which can happen as phones age. And I know it's not the newest chipset out there, but it's still a beast and can still compete with the newest flagships. Now, I want to get into the display because that's one of the strong reasons why I was so drawn to this phone. Samsung has always been known for their gorgeous displays, and the Note 10 Plus is no exception. And I feel like these videos won't do it justice. You really have to check it out in person to see how the colors pop. It's truly impressive. However, I do want to point out that it's still rocking a 60Hz display compared to the recent 90s and 120s, which could be a problem for some of you guys. But I've never really had any issues with it. And just know that a 60Hz display just means better battery life. It's rocking a 4300 milliamp battery, which is more than enough to get me through the whole day, but of course your mileage may vary from mine. And since I've been working from home a lot these days, I notice myself on the phone more often than usual. And with that said, one charge overnight is good enough to last me all day. And just in case you guys didn't know, the phone does come with a 45 watt fast charger, and I believe it does 0 to 100 in like 30 minutes. It's pretty damn fast. And next we have to move on to the camera. And no, it's not the best camera out there, but it's still pretty good. The main camera is a quad setup and is capable of shooting in 4K at 30 frames or 60 frames per second. And as for the front camera, it's a single camera setup at 10 megapixels and is also capable of shooting in 4K. And yeah, like I said, it's not the best, but it's perfectly fine if you're into selfies or vlogging. And honestly, it's not bad. I would show you guys some video, but since this video is all rendered in 1080p, the quality wouldn't be that accurate. But I do have some images here, so you guys can get an idea of how the image quality is. So yeah, there are better cameras out there, but when I was comparing these images to the ones in my DSLR, I was kind of surprised how close they were in quality. And just to throw it out there, Samsung does have a pro video and photo mode, so if you guys are into customizing your shot, like the aperture, ISO, white balance, they have that all in there. And of course, we can't forget about the S Pen. I mean, that's what makes the Note, right? And to be honest, I don't use it as much as I should, but there are times where it did come in handy. For example, there are times when I was out and about, and all of a sudden I needed these papers to be signed. So I would just bust out the S Pen, sign what I needed to sign, and I was done. Now, I do want to say that the phone is perfect, but it's not. And there are some issues that I've noticed over the past several months. And one of them is the fingerprint sensor. And yes, it did get better after a couple updates, but it still takes me a couple tries to unlock the phone unless my thumb is perfectly placed. And another is the rounded edges. And I know that's just a matter of personal preference, but there are times when I had to work around the edges, and it gets really difficult to use, especially if you have a case on the phone. But I will say that the rounded edges does make it easier to use the phone on one hand. And lastly is the headphone jack. And I guess that's a con. I mean, it is 2021 now, and if you guys are still upset about that, then just learn to adapt. Case cut. No, I'm just messing, guys. Yeah, I guess there are people still upset about the headphone jack. But yeah, there is no headphone jack. So, should you get the Note 10 Plus in 2021? And honestly, for $400 to $500, I would. In the end, I just can't justify spending $1,000 on a brand new phone when I can be completely content with this guy for years to come. Anyways, I hope I provided enough information to help you guys make a decision. And if there's anything I missed, please leave a comment down below, and I'd appreciate any type of feedback or comments that you guys may have. Alright, well thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!